Hello, Warriors of Light, and welcome to my weekly podcast that covers different Final Fantasy XIV topics. This is my 21st podcast of 2025 and the 73rd episode in the series. So today, I will be dividing this podcast into two parts. For the first part, I will be commenting on one topic from the Japanese General Forum, the 2025 Make It Rain campaign, the past release of patch 7.21, and Naoki Yoshida presenting as guest of honor at the 2025 Anime Expo in Los Angeles. For the second part of the podcast, I will be commenting on the ending of Season 14 of the Crystalline conflict, the new additions to the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop role-playing game, the recommencement of automatic housing demolitions on North American data centers, the latest episode of Duty Commenced, the new downloadable mini music album, and the upcoming release of patch 7.25. Today is May 24th, 2025. So, this year I will randomly pick general official forum topics in different languages and give gamers my thoughts on them. So, today, I will be commenting on a thread from the Japanese forum titled Mataku Namida wo Nagasana Shujink ni Tsuite, or in English as the about the protagonist who does not shed any tears at all. That was created by a user named Takechikita. This discussion was started in May of 2025 and offers a suggestion of adding tears as an emote and during cutscenes for your character. So, as always, I think giving gamers more options for their character appearance is always a great proposal, and I personally would love to see tears added as an emote. One poster by the name of ffxiv made a great point that there are various reasons to cry, and your character or others could cry out in joy, out of frustration, or sadness. I propose making 3 different emotes called Tears of Joy, Tears of Resentment, and Tears of Sorrow. Overall, this is an excellent topic and a very beautiful proposal, but it may need an hashtag to get more views and exposure to the Final Fantasy XIV community. So, in closing this part, I highly recommend gamers to take a look at this Japanese discussion and give their thoughts on adding tears to Final Fantasy XIV. Next, the 2025 Make It Rain campaign has already started and will end on June 11th. To participate, gamers will need to speak to the ebullient citizen in Ulda, Steppes of Nald, and start the quest titled Royal Rumblings. Also, gamers must be at level 15 and complete one of the following main scenario quests: the Gridanian Envoy, the Uldan Envoy, or the Lomansan Envoy, and need access to the Manderville Gold Saucer. Gamers will also be able to receive increased MGP points by 50% and obtain rare in-game items, such as the Overreact emote and the King Elmer III card. Other Gold Saucer prizes may be purchased at a reduced MGP cost from the campaign attendant. MGP is an acronym for Manderville Gold Saucer Points and is a currency used on the Manderville Gold Saucer. So next, patch 7.21 was released on April 22nd and included Cosmic Exploration, Cosmic Tools, new housing furniture, new dyes, and more. To participate in the new Cosmic Exploration, gamers must speak to Naming Way in Old Charlayan as a disciple of Hand or Land, and start the quest titled A Cosmic Homecoming. Gamers must have a disciple of Land or Hand at level 10 and completed main scenario quest titled Endwalker to start this side quest. In addition, gamers can also start the Cosmic Tool side quests by speaking to Researching Way in Sinus Ardorum. Gamers can find more information on the official Lodestone website. Next, the Final Fantasy XIV team will be at the Anime Expo 2025 in Los Angeles this summer, and Naoki Yoshida will be presenting as a guest of honor. Gamers can journey with Naoki Yoshida as he looks back on his life, early career, and experiences. The Anime Expo will be held at the Los Angeles Convention Center at 1201 South Figueroa Street in Los Angeles, California, from July 3rd to July 6th. Gamers that wish to attend this event should register on the website today. So now we will take a small break and continue on to part 2 of this podcast in a few moments. Welcome back, everyone. So for part 2 of this podcast, I will be commenting on the ending of Season 14 of the Crystalline Conflict, the new additions to the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop role-playing game, the recommencement of automatic housing demolitions on North American data centers, the latest episode of Duty Commenced, the new downloadable mini music album, and the upcoming release of patch 7.25. So, Season 14 of the Crystalline Conflict will soon draw to a close with the beginning of patch 7.25 maintenance on Tuesday, May 27th. Once the season has ended, gamers will receive rewards according to their overall rank and tier within each physical data center, and high-ranking players from each data center will receive rewards and vouchers via the Moogle delivery service. These vouchers can be exchanged for rewards by speaking with the seasonal quartermaster at the Wolves' Den Pier. In addition, gamers can augment Hellhound weaponry by delivering Commendation Crystals and the Hellhound weapon of your choice to the Commendation Quartermaster. Next, the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop role-playing game is already out, and gamers can pre-order new editions now. This tabletop role-playing game allows gamers to experience Erzea from a whole new perspective. Gamers can step into the shoes of an heroic adventurer or assume the Game Master's mantle, and then cooperate to forge your own unique stories within the vast and exciting universe of Final Fantasy XIV. The new editions will be available in a scenario and Game Master guide, and provide gamers with game data and lore for over 130 types of monsters, as well as special rules including interactions with allied societies, weather mechanics, and more. It also provides helpful examples and informative cheat sheets for game masters looking to host their own exciting adventures. The guide also contains 3 new scenarios set in Heavensward, 11 encounters based on in-game fates, and battle data for creating especially challenging battle situations. In addition, the deluxe version will further include over 430 tokens to represent monsters and non-playable characters, and 8 illustrated battle maps to represent the terrain of different scenarios. I highly recommend gamers that love tabletop role-playing games to add this version to their collections. Next, the automatic housing demolition timer for worlds in the North American data center, which was halted temporarily in January 2025, will resume on Friday, June 6. The counter for automatic demolition may be reset for certain estates depending on the usage of housing during the period when estate demolition was suspended. If an estate hasn't been built on the plot, the counter may be reset upon entering the estate once it has been built. For players who have not entered their estates for at least 30 days, the status under the Estate tab of the timer's window will indicate the estate is being prepared for demolition, and denote the number of days remaining. This status will no longer be displayed upon entering the estate. Gamers can find more information on the Lodestone website. Next, the latest episode of Duty Commenced was broadcasted on April 23rd, and the 2 hosts, Aya and Sarah, with fellow Warriors of Light, explored the Hatching Tide event for some Eggscullant Arcan Egg Parasols and took on some of the AAC Cruiserweight matches. In addition, Aya and Sarah, also known as Sissy Cray and Minerine, showcased the latest entries from talented content creators and artists during the Community Commendation segment for prizes and giveaways, such as the frog costume hat. The episode is now available to watch on the Lodestone website or on the official Final Fantasy XIV Twitch channel. Next, the new downloadable mini-album titled Final Fantasy XIV, Dawntrail EP5 is now available, and includes music from the Arcadians Cruiserweight tier matches, the Underkeep Dungeon, and the Recollection Battle. The official tracks included with this digital download are Ride the Rhythm, Back to the Drawing Board, Not Afraid, Unleashed, Find the Princess, and Roses of May. Gamers can purchase these songs in the iTunes Store and from Amazon Music. In addition, gamers can also purchase these songs from Mora, Recochoco, Anemolo, and Dwango in Japan. Gamers can find more information on the official Lodestone website. Lastly, patch 7.25 will be released on May 27th and will include a new field operation named Crescent Isle, Mirage Island with an area named the Occult Crescent, South Horn. In addition, gamers can also expect Mamul J Allied Society quests and more Hildebrand adventure quests. Also, phantom weapons will be obtainable through new weapon enhancement quests by working with Geralt Blackthorn, the legendary blacksmith for all relic weapons in Final Fantasy XIV. And that's all I have for my 21st podcast for 2025. If you enjoy my podcasts, you can subscribe to my English podcast channels on YouTube and Rumble, and my Russian channels on RooTube and VKontakte. Also, you can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, under Dynamis Ryne. Each week, I try to answer comments and questions found on my channels through my weekly podcasts. Feel free to post on my social media platforms and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.